video walkthrough on Forest River Alpha Wolf. We'll start in the back. You are pre-wired for a backup camera. Does not have a backup camera, but you are pre-wired for one. If you choose to have one installed, that's definitely something we can do. And it does use power from those marker lights up there, so the running lights on your tow vehicle need to be on for the camera to turn on. Coming along here, the bumper caps do come off. That's going to be the perfect spot to store your sewer hose. That's what it's designed for. That's why they make the bumper caps removable. Stabilizer jacks, you have these in all four corners. There's a manual crank for them, or you can use a drill with a 3/4 inch socket on it. Just make sure you lubricate these often. It's just a threaded rod going down the middle. Lubricate those often, and it improves the longevity of the jacks. These aren't meant for lifting up the unit, for leveling it, just for stabilizing it. If you want your camper to be level, use your tongue jack to get front to back. Blocks underneath your tires, side to side. 30 amp short cord right here. This is your short cord. It does come with the unit. You can see how long it is. Then it's twist lock on, and then this screws on too for extra security. You see underneath, right over here, you got your low point drains. That's going to be the lowest point of the water system. So when you're winterizing, you can open those. And then you should have one more drain somewhere over there. So we passed it. Let's go back over there then. That right there, that's going to be your drain for your fresh tank. Right out here, got an outdoor shower. If I can hold my key right. There we go. And hot and cold outside. Over here is going to be your main hookups. So that one right here, city water. So if you're going something that provides water and they just hook your hose up to here, you'll operate off of city water pressure. You won't need to use your pump. But up here, fill your onboard fresh tank. Just rest your hose in there. Don't try to jam it in there. It's gravity fill. When you fill it up, if you see water start to skip from around your hose, you're full. I don't like to generally have it get to that point. I measure its progress via the monitoring panel on the inside. Over here, you have a black tank flush. So when you're dumping your black tank, you can hook a hose up to here, turn it on. That'll flush out your black tank. There's a little nozzle in there. Make sure you are doing this when you're dumping the black tank. Otherwise, it'll fill your black tank up. You have cable inlet. So if you're going something that provides cable, you can hook it through here. Then you have satellite. So if you have a portable satellite, you can hook it to there. Right here is going to be your main dumps area. Okay. So, I'll put the cap on for you folks. So they are labeled. Stickers right here, gray tank. So this handle right here would be gray tank. This one over here is your black tank. I always recommend dumping your black first, and then once it's all the way empty, dumping your gray tank. That'll flush out that hose so you don't have to carry around a stinky hose. And then a little tip, I always give this an extra push, even though I'm pretty sure they're closed. I always push them in to make sure before I take this cap off, because if they were opened, you take the cap off, it's not going to be no fun. Just make sure that gets put on. There we go. Over here, water heater. This will all be set up for you to use. This you can take off. Put it right here. So, as soon as you go wherever you're going, hook up water. This will automatically start filling. Then you'll be able to go to use it. If you want to use it on electric, there's a switch right here, right there. Turn it off and on from out here. We'll turn it off here, so just know when you want to come use electric, and if you think it's not working, come out here and turn the switch back on. Other than that, I recommend draining it after every trip. You don't want water to sit in there; it'll start to get stagnant and smelly. So you used it for a week, then you're not gonna use it for 3 weeks. Drain the water out of it. And before you pull this plug here, and by the way, this plug is 1 1/16 is the socket size. Before you pull that out, crack your pressure relief. Water will start coming out. Once the water stops coming out, snap it closed. Then you can take the plug out. If you neglect to do this, and you try to take that plug out first, you're gonna get a bath because there's a lot of pressure in here. So this is what this does, is relieving the pressure. And then, final tip of advice: clean this often. Clean in here often. Clean in there often. Keep it clean. It'll run for longer, and the life of it will be longer. Come over here. They have a coupler right here. If you wanted to make your own hose, we sell the material here to make your own hose. Just get a big hose clamp, slip the hose over here, hose clamp it down, and you can make your own hose. You got pass-through storage. There you go. You got that crank for the stabilizer jacks. That one in the plastic, and then the other one is a manual backup for your tongue jack. Over here, lots of good information. VIN, gross vehicle weight rating, cargo carrying capacity. Here's the numbers that are really important. 65 psi. Make sure you check your tire pressure often. Make sure it's at 65 psi. Don't go off of what the tires say. Go off of what this number says, and it says 65 psi. To the front, got a light switch here. Just turns on these decorative LEDs. Right over here, your battery. It's a brand new battery. You don't have to worry about buying this and then buying a battery. The Group 24RD marine grade battery. In the winter, I recommend taking it completely out, storing it somewhere warm, like your basement, your garage, anywhere warmer than just being sat outside. And then if it's going to be an extended period of time between trips, definitely recommend disconnecting the negative lead off your battery. That's going to keep anything from using your battery while you're away. Dual 20-pound cylinders. We'll turn these off for now. I always like to make sure people get these while they're off, so nothing's using their propane. They are filled. We did fill them, so you don't have to worry about getting these filled either. Right here, automatic changeover regulator. So you can see it's pointing this way. It's going to pull from this tank first. If this one were to be on and this one were to get depleted, this will automatically switch to pulling from this tank. However, this doesn't rotate itself, indicating it has switched. So keep that in the back of your mind. What I like to do is whatever one it's pointed to, I have on. The other one I have off. That way, if I'm cooking or if I have the furnace on and I notice the flames go down or the furnace starts to shut off, then I come out here. I'll turn this one off, turn this one on, manually flip this over so I know. That way, I have in the back of my mind, hey, this tank needs to get filled. And then some people have this up and down, thinking, like in the middle right here, thinking it's going to pull from both tanks equally. It doesn't work that way. It's one or the other. Power tongue jack with a light. And then raise and lower. That beats hand cranking every day of the week. But if this jack were to fail or you were to lose power, pop this cap open. There's a little tiny, kind of hard to see, but there's basically a nut in there. And you can take that small crank and stick it in here, and that's your manual backup for the tongue jack. Got your chains, cross them when you hook up. Got your breakaway. This goes down to a box. You can see it. Nope, it's tucked up underneath there with a pin in it. If your hitch work were to come undone, it's going to pull that pin out that box. So make sure this gets hooked up to your truck, this end. Pulls the pin out of the box, it'll activate the brakes on the trailer, keep it from rolling into traffic. Then you got your 7-way here. This gets plugged in with your truck. That does your lights and your brakes. And then there is a nice, see if we can. There's actually, they designed it for it. A nice holder for it. Over here, you have pre-wired for solar. You have to buy the Furrion brand, the charger and all that, and the panels that'll hook up to here. And then all that does is trickle charge your battery. So if you're primitive camping somewhere, you can at least run everything off, run what you can off of the battery power, and then the sun will keep it charged up. Light switch for in here. You got LEDs over there, and there's those 2 cranks I was talking about. Do have a spot to leash your dog up, nice and sturdy. Keep in mind, if you lock your dog up to here because you're starting to put everything away, leaving for the day, don't forget them attached to here. It even says here, be sure to load your loved ones before moving coats. Got a mount for a TV out here. The other half will be in the trailer. And then you have cable hookup right here. And the other one is satellite. If I can, satellite. Yeah, I believe so. Let me double check. Nope, the other one is, yeah, satellite. And then you do have outdoor power, GFCI protected. All your GFCI outlets are on the same circuit. If one trips, they're all gonna trip. Exhaust for your furnace, just clip it clean. They make screens for these. They don't recommend you run them with the screen on. But having them screen on is good for storage or travel. It's going to keep road debris out of there. It'll keep insects from building nests in there. Over here, range vent. I'm a little short to open it, but you want to make sure there's a little flap in here. You open up when you're using your fan on your range hood. That way it has actually somewhere to vent it out to when you're traveling or during storage. Make sure you snap that little flap closed. Outdoor kitchen, a nice mini fridge. Nice ice maker right here. This isn't wired into, not wired. This isn't plumbed into the water system, so you have to actually add water to it. But this turn this area to a nice little outdoor bar. Slide this out. Got a little sink basin. Got your propane hose. That'll get hooked to this. Quick disconnect down here, and then that little gray thing, that's your valve for it right there. And then you have a lock right here. Lift it up. Close that. And then close this. Well, that concludes our exterior tour. We'll mosey our way onto the inside. Swipe our feet off here. Go to this panel here. We will open our slide out. And there's some things out there, so we won't go all the way open with the slide. But keep in mind that you do actually have another foot. This can go out. So we'll start here, monitoring panel. You could do battery. You could do fresh, black, gray, gray 1, gray 2. You don't have gray, you don't have a black 2, and you don't have a gray 2. Water pump, if you're gonna pull from your onboard fresh tank, make sure that's on. Water heater. So if you turn it on from here, that's going to turn on it for gas. If you turn this little switch I was telling you outside, that's the switch for electric. And you have inside LED. It's always in the down position, so when you click it, it returns down. That'll do that here. Outside LED does the LEDs on your awning. Living room lights does the living room, and kitchen does the kitchen. Awning, so you switch for your awning right here. These do not stop when they hit out, so you have to visually watch, and then you do actually have to keep holding the switch down. When you start to see the bare tube, then you're all the way out. You see here, they are adjustable. You would just slide. It's kind of hard to do because I'm a little one-handed, but you would slide this in, and it pitches the arm down, so you can have water run off to the corner rather than all the way along the edge. If it is starting to rain, roll your awning in. You don't want storm. You can have it out for the rain. But if it starts storming, really windy, really hard, heavy rain, roll your awning back up. And then as soon as it gets sunny out, roll it back out, let it dry, because you don't want it to hold moisture. And then controllers for your slide out. And we'll let it go in. So you do have a light switch right here. So if you're wondering what it does, so down on the light switch has power for your microwave. Up on the light switch will divert power for your AC. We'll leave it down. Alright, we're moving along. Both sides of the couch, USB outlets and GFCI protected outlets as well. This turns into a bed. Very difficult to show you one-handed. I'll do my best to explain it to you. Take these cushions, they unvelcro from the back. I set them aside. Usually I put them on the dinette table or on the end tables. And you grab up underneath here, lift up, pull out. It'll fold out like that. There'll be two little legs you unfold. They rest down on the ground. Then this back portion right here, you just fold down, and it creates a platform to sleep on. These lights here, any lights not controlled explicitly on that board or by its own light switch, are turned off at the fixtures themselves, just like this. And then these blinds, I like these blinds. They work by just pushing them up, just kind of guiding them up, and pulling them down. So the nice thing about these is, if you pull them down, you line all the blacks up, it'll create like a night shade, so it won't let any light in. But if you want some light in, line it up like that, and you let a little bit of light in. Dinette tables got storage underneath all these seats, which is nice. Placemats are secret storage. Got a TV in here. This will come unmounted, just like the other one. It's a similar mount to the one outside. Got two USB ports there, dual outlets down there. Radio is super simple. Right here allows you to change your channel. This is your volume. You have zones, push and hold. Zone 1 on, so it's zone 1's on, push and hold. Zone 2 off. Zone 2 is outside, so now the outside speakers are off. If you have zone 1 on, zone 2 off, zone 1 off, then it's just the outdoor speakers, and vice versa. Then you have here AM, FM, USB, Bluetooth, source. Then you have headphone jacks, auxiliary, HDMI pass-through. This isn't equipped for that, but it has it on the radio, and then a USB port right there. Okay, so here's another mount. This will be the mount for the outdoor. So if you have a TV that works with this mount, just put it on that TV. Keep that TV in a compartment or in your truck somewhere, and then when you want to use it, you can hook it up outside. Then you have a remote for your radio. And then in this manila folder is all your paperwork for like your manuals and any appliance that was installed. There'll be a manual for it. And then this right here is a manual backup for your slide out. So your slide out motor is behind this fascia. These slide outs, the motors don't fail very often, so it'll be rare you have to use this. You might never use it within the lifespan of this camper, but to get to that motor, you usually have to, you can kind of finagle your hand back there or take this whole piece of fascia off. This will stick in the end of the motor. Stick your drill into that. This is flexible. Then you walk it in as you manually closing the slide out. Removable cover. Microwave, just like any standard household microwave, is only going to work when you're plugged in, and if that switch is set to this microwave instead of the AC. Then you have a light, range light, and then range fan. Takes a while to kick on. There you go. Make sure you have that flap outside open when you're using that fan. Then you do have this folding glass cooktop with sparker lighter. So you turn it to high, twist the sparker, lights it, and there goes all the gas out of the lines. So there's no gas in the lines, but there is gas in the tanks. The oven's a little bit differently. Turn it to the flame, push and hold that flame in right there. Then you go down in here, you can even turn that on. You'd have to push and hold that button for the oven on the flame. Keep twisting that sparker until that pilot in there is lit. Once that pilot is lit, you can then turn it to whatever temperature you want. If you don't want to light your pilot again next time, if you turn it off but turn it to the flame, shuts the burner off, leaves the pilot on. Turn it all the way to off before you go to bed because you don't want to lit pilot overnight. This light switch will do the lights around these knobs as well as the oven light. Fridge, 12-volt fridge, so whether you're running off a battery or whether you're plugged in, this fridge is going to run off of 12 volt, and it works more like a traditional fridge, so it gets colder a lot quicker than a traditional RV fridge does. And the nice thing about it is there's no propane you have to worry about, and just like a propane fridge, if you were to lose power, it'll switch to running. There's nothing to lose, because a propane fridge, if it loses power on electric, it'll switch to propane. This one will just keep running. So either way, it won't let your food be spoiled due to loss of power. Now, just running this strictly off a battery is going to drain your battery. That's why if you're going to dry camp somewhere, you want to be able to use this fridge, I would definitely get hooked up with that solar kit so you can keep that battery charged up. Right below that, breaker box, all your breakers for your 120 volt appliances, all your fuses for your 12 volt, then you have 240s right there. Definitely recommend carrying some spare fuses with you, just in case something were to happen. Right over here, you're prepped for a Wi-Fi hotspot for 4G. It does not come with it. You have to purchase the kit meant for this unit to have that. Right here, thermostat. Right now it's telling you what temperature it is inside the RV currently, 66 degrees. Hit this big bar right here, turns it on. So the fan, it's just going to ask what you want your fan to be at. Low, high, and then cool, low, and high. So having it just on the fan is going to just run the fan on the AC, allow it to circulate air. So once you have it on cool, you can set the temperature so it goes all the way down to 33. That is pretty damn cold. Hit it again, go to cool high, auto high, and then heat. So cool high and low is just gonna whatever you have it set to. Once it hits that temperature, the AC is gonna continue to run. And I don't recommend that because it could cause it to freeze up. Once it freezes up, it'll shut off and it'll need to be thawed before it can be turned on again. But if you had it on cool auto low or high, that means once it hits that set temperature, it'll automatically turn off and then it'll cycle on and off to regulate whatever temperature you have it on. Then hit the heat, and then your heat, I believe, goes all the way to 99. Yep, so pretty dang hot too. Right below that, propane and carbon monoxide gas alarm. That's hardwired to the 12 volt system. There's no batteries you have to worry about changing. Cut through the bathroom right here. Not a whole heck of a lot. You got your resettable GFCI outlet. If any outlet were to suddenly stop working and it's got the sticker on it, come in here, hit the reset button on it, reset that GFCI outlet. Toilet, as long as you're pushing this pedal, it's going to continue to flush. And the nice thing about this toilet is it's porcelain. It'll be just like your toilet at home, nice and sturdy. Shower. Sliding glass doors. Removable shower head, hot and cold. Very self-explanatory. They do kind of magnetic close. Oh, not this one. Those ones just stay closed. Some of them have magnets in them, some of them don't. They just stay closed. This one, just always before you travel, latch these two together. You really don't want these to be sliding around when you're going down the road. Same deal with bedroom door. Unsnap it to use it. And then snap it back in when you travel so it's not sliding all over the place. You do have GFCI outlet there and there. Two USB ports. This one also has two USB ports right there. This right here is a Furrion charger for their Furrion branded Bluetooth speaker, which we sell here. So if you wanted to buy that, stick this on that charger, you're good to go. You are set up for another TV in here. You got a backer built in the wall here, so this is where you want to mount a TV. Don't use the screws that come with the TV mounts. They are too long and you'll screw to the outside of the camper. You have a cable hookup and GFCI outlet right there. And then these lights turn on and off from the light itself. And then as well as the lights in here do that too. And then under your bed, you do have some storage. Alrighty then. Lights in the bathroom, same way. Click them on and off at the light. And then there's one more thing, forgot to show in the bathroom right up here. Got a fan vent. Turn this counterclockwise to open it. Then you have a knob here for fan speeds 1 through 3. And then close it. Alrighty then. And then obviously remote for your TV right there. And I'm gonna throw this in with that other remote. Alright, well that concludes your video walkthrough on your Forest River Alpha Wolf. Hope you folks found this video informative, and I really hope you guys get good use out of this camper. Goodbye.